Hey everyone, me again. Number 3 is talking about how we can set up some sort of an experiment for determining the concentration of an insecticide that will kill mosquitoes that carry West Nile. So letter A is asking you to set up an experiment to determine the proper concentration. So this one is exactly like the one that we just did on number 2. You have to set up an experiment, and I extended mine so that I could, write more. You can always type yours in. Okay, so it says, how might you determine the proper concentration needed to kill mosquitoes? Develop an experiment to determine the proper concentration. So I'm going to say I would establish 10 enclosures. An enclosure for mosquitoes? Okay, sure. I would establish 10 enclosures of 100 mosquitoes. And I think that's the plural form, mosquitoes. After allowing mosquitoes to become comfortable with their environment, I would begin dosing each individual tank or enclosure with a different concentration of the pesticide. The concentrations would range from, and you can pick, I'm going to pick from 0.001 to 1,000 milligrams per liter. Okay? So all I'm doing is I'm just reiterating how you're going to set up 10 enclosures of 100 mosquitoes. After they become familiar with their environment, you're going to start dosing them with a different concentration of the pesticide. So one enclosure is going to get this, the next one would get 0.01, and then 0.1, and then 1, and then 10, and then 100, and then 1,000. All right, so the concentrations would range from 0.001 to 1,000 milligrams per liter, increasing by a factor of 10. Okay? I would also, remember you have to have some sort of control, I would also have a control group who receives no concentration or no dose of the pesticide. I would then calculate percentage death or percentage mortality due to the pesticide and draw a dose response curve to find the lethal dose that kills 50% of the population, or the LD50. Alright, so all of that is for letter A. And if you're typing, it's easier. Writing kind of made my hand a little tired. Okay, so you're doing this where you would take, 10 enclosures of 100 mosquitoes, you allow the mosquitoes to become comfortable, and then you start dosing them from 0.001 to 1,000 milligrams per liter, increasing by a factor of 10. You'd also have a control group where you give them none of the pesticide and just see how many of them die. You would then calculate percentage mortality and draw a dose response curve, and that's where you have the concentration along the x-axis and the percentage mortality along the y-axis. All right, so letter B, it says, how might you determine whether the concentration used to kill mosquitoes might also kill other species of insects? And this one's actually pretty easy. You could perform the same experiment as above in A, just with different insects. You could also just expose other insects to the LD50, LD50 for mosquitoes that you found in A. There you go. Easy enough. All right, letter C, it says, if you knew the insecticide's LD50 value for humans, what concentration would be safe for human exposure? Okay, so this is the one, or this is the thing where they take the LD50 for mosquitoes or some insect or something like that. They divide it by 1,000, and that's the concentration that would be safe for human exposure. You could take I think this should be mosquitoes. I don't think this makes sense. You could take the LD50 value for mosquitoes and divide it by 1,000 to get the safe value for humans. Okay, so that's pretty much it for that one. Let's move on to letter D. And if I'm going too fast, you can always stop the video, pause it, I'll still be here. Letter D. It says, one option to control mosquito populations in less developed countries is to spray an organochlorine pesticide known as GASP DDT, which was outlawed in the United States. The pesticide is extremely effective, but can have unintended consequences on the environment. Write an argument for the spraying of DDT. Okay, so DDT, I say just use the argument that they gave. It's extremely effective. Okay. DDT is extremely effective in killing mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are carriers of many diseases, such as West Nile virus and Zika. Remember Zika? In an effort to decrease these instances in humans and other organisms, small amounts of DDT could be sprayed sparingly. Okay, so remember, DDT is not good for you. It's really bad, actually. But if they use it in small amounts and they spray it in places where mosquitoes usually congregate, like around, water, or like standing bodies of water where they usually lay their eggs, they could probably really decrease the concentration if, they really need to get rid of these mosquitoes. Okay, and then letter E is saying one option to control is to spray DDT. Write an argument against the spraying of DDT. Okay. DDT, although extremely effective, can cause human health effects such as kidney cancer, neurological effects. All right, remember, if you say cancer, you have to give a specific type of cancer. Neurological effects. I'm just going to say, and DDT also led to the crash of bald eagle populations because it led to eggshell thinning. Remember, the bald eagles tried to incubate their eggs, and then they sat on them, but then when they sat on them, it actually just crushed their eggs, and then it led to their population crash. You can say tons of different stuff. You can say killed unintended insects, such as pollinators. You can really say a ton of different stuff. DDT was bad. Killed unintended birds, which was the topic of Rachel Carson's book. Do you know which book? Silent Spring. Ta-da! I even wove in Silent Spring there. You have to be impressed with that. Don't say cultural eutrophication for this one because it doesn't cause cultural eutrophication. And that's it for this one. Relatively easy. Remember, if you have any questions or if you're feeling stressed out or something, or if you're having a hard time meeting on the deadlines, please send me an email. Please let me know. That way we can, help you out, extend the deadline or something like that. Again, if you have any questions, send me an email. Let me know.